Hi, hello friends. Today I would like to start electrochemistry of second PUC syllabus, second year intermediate class 12, unit number 3. Okay, shall we start the class? Let us start the class. Yeah, let us see. This is the concept today. I'm going to discuss on electrochemistry. So it's a branch of science which converts chemical energy into electrical energy. Here it takes the help of redox reaction. So the chemical energy is nothing but chemical reaction. That reaction is called as redox reaction. And moreover, the movement of electron produces electricity in a galvanic cell. The device is called as galvanic cell. We can also call it as voltaic cell, which converts the chemical energy into electrical energy. Okay. And this can be observed here. We have electrodes are there, different metal electrodes are there, half cells. Left side we have zinc anode is there, right side we have copper cathode is there. Both are connected with a salt bridge containing sodium nitrate, and there are zinc plate is there. Here you can observe this is zinc plate, and this right side we have copper plate is there, copper electrode. And here there is a switch is also arranged and a voltmeter is connected here. You can observe there is a chemical reaction is taking place in both the electrodes. The chemical reaction is nothing but electric current reaction here. Electron starts moving from zinc to copper here. Okay, that you are observing. So this is what there is general schematic diagram of this voltaic cell, and this will be further again divided into primary cell, non-rechargeable batteries. They are Daniell cell and dry cell, and we have the Daniell cell, which is nothing but containing zinc and copper here. The olden method or concept, we have zinc sulfate solution is kept here in this inside, and a porous pot is present around it, and which is separated by the copper electrode, copper rod. Here you are observing copper rod, and which is present in the copper sulfate solution. Here there is another kind of picture you can observe. This is schematic diagram. This is the picture we can prepare it originally. And moving on to the next one, non-rechargeable primary cell, we have dry cell is there. This is the dry cell, and zinc cup anode at the top it is there. Graphite anode is present here inside, and moist plates, that means here there will be some moisture which developed, and it contains manganese dioxide and ammonium chloride carbon powder, all are present here. This is nothing but graphite anode, which is blue in color here shown. So ammonium chloride is act as nothing but electrolyte, and zinc chloride also produced during the reaction. And another thing here we can see another type of non-rechargeable cell called as alkaline cell. In this we have a plastic jacket will be there. This is the plastic jacket, and steel jacket which is present around it. Here, like we said earlier, manganese dioxide is a nothing but cathodic polarizer. The graphite mixes with that one, and zinc mixes with alkali, that is potassium hydroxide, acts as anode, and this graphite anode acts as cathode. Brass current collector. So here we have one important picture here shown in middle, that we'll call it as brass collector. Here in case of dry cell we have carbon only there, rod. Anode cathode separator is also present here. This is anode cathode separator, and a plastic insulator also present here, this location. And we have metal washer is also present here down. As you know, this is also one of the most important diagram of primary cell non-rechargeable alkaline cell. And we have another type of voltaic cell is that is most important. We will give most priority to this one, which is called as secondary cell rechargeable nickel cadmium cell it is. And we have 600 milliamps nickel cadmium battery, picture is shown here, which is said to be having different parts in this gasket is there, and a positive terminal gas release vent is there, and a positive tap is there here. Here we have, and a positive electrode, nickel electrode is there, and separators are there for the anode cathode. This negative terminal is also here present, and jacket is finally it is covered with a gasket. Okay, this is one primary observation in the electrochemistry. Not only that one, we have another type of cells are there as called as electrolytic cells. Conversion of electrical energy to chemical energy. In the voltaic cell, what happened is nothing but conversion of chemical energy into electrical energy happened. That means chemical reaction is converted into electrical energy. But in the case of electrolytic cell, when we pass current into a solution, that will produce a chemical substance that is called as chemical energy. So here there is a solution we will take, that solution is called as electrolyte. Here electrodes, same metal half cell reactions are here present like we said earlier. Anode, cathode, inert electrodes are there here in this picture. Battery is connected, and once the chemical reaction is completed, what will happen? You can easily identify that the battery starts working because of the generation of electrical energy, because of generation of chemical energy from the electrical energy. Here we will prepare gases, metals, that means non-metals and metals, using this electrolytic cell experiments. Moving on to the next category, we have electrolytic cells are there. How can we just compare these voltaic cell and electrolytic cell? So just now we observed the definition, that is conversion of chemical energy to electrical energy happens in voltaic cell, and conversion of electrical energy to chemical energy takes place in the electrolytic cell. And voltaic cell, the reaction is called as spontaneous reaction. After passing current, only reaction takes place in the electrolytic cell, that is called as non-spontaneous reaction. In the voltaic cell, we have zinc is acting as anode, and copper is acting as cathode. Here, zinc anode where oxidation takes place, and copper cathode where reduction takes place. In the picture, you can observe that zinc ions from the zinc rod starts coming out, and in the case of copper compartment, what happened is copper ions said to be depositing over the copper rod. So here you can see the arrow marks shown. And finally what happens, the electrons moves from zinc to copper, and this movement also shown most important thing, the movement of electrons is different, and flow of anions is different. See, flow of the ion is different and flow of the electrons is different, which is anion movement, that is sulfate ions are there. Sulfate ions are there, or chloride ions are there. Suppose you take copper sulfate, sulfate ion starts moving towards zinc. Okay, zinc will get oxidized in this reaction. So in this way, electron flow from anode to cathode takes place in the voltaic cell, whereas anode is negative here because of the electrons which are present around it. That means zinc releases electrons, gets oxidized, and over the zinc electrons are present. The reason why we are calling as anode is negative, and cathode is there. So in the case of cathode, cathode is positive because electrons received by this copper ions will get reduced at cathode. That means mass of copper rod slightly increases when compared to the mass of zinc rod. So when it is decreases, zinc rod mass definitely, zinc rod mass decreases, copper rod mass increases because of deposition takes place at cathode, and dissolution takes place at anode. So these things will take place in the case of voltaic cell. Let us see what is non-spontaneous electrolytic cell reaction. Here there is a picture. We have electrolyte. In this electrolyte, anode cathode reaction, there is anode oxidation takes place, but anode is positive in the case of this electrolytic cell, whereas in the voltaic cell anode is negative, and cathode is negative in the case of electrolytic cell, and whereas voltaic cell cathode is positive. Electron flow from anode to cathode, here also the same thing will takes place, and you can observe this movement of electrons. See here, oxidized form, oxidation takes place, the chloride, any kind of negative ion is there, losing electrons to anode here. And Y is cathode, that is taking electrons in the electrolytic cell, so where reduction takes place. So what are the main differences? Nothing but at anode, in the voltaic cell oxidation takes place, anode is negative. Whereas in the electrolytic cell, anode oxidation takes place, but the anode is positive. Okay. Voltaic cell, if you consider the cathode, the reduction takes place at cathode. Cathode is positive in a case of voltaic cell. Where that of electrolytic cell, if you take the cathode, their reduction takes place, but the cathode is negative in the case of electrolytic cell. These are the main differences in the between the electrolytic cell and the voltaic cell. Let us see. Zinc copper voltaic cell in a different manner. That means the conversion of chemical energy to electrical energy takes place. We said it is spontaneous reaction, and in spontaneous reaction, how much energy is generated is nothing but 1.1 electromotive force is generated. And in the picture, we can call zinc location is called a zinc half cell, and the right side we call it as copper half cell. Both the half cells are joined by a salt bridge. You can observe here the salt bridge, and zinc is losing electrons to electrons, copper is losing gaining 2 electrons in this reactions. That is called as half cell reactions. Once we combine these half cells, you will get the cell reaction. This is nothing but cell reaction. That is Zn plus Cu 2 plus gives rise to Zn2 plus Cu. Whereas electron flow from anode to cathode, as we said earlier, which will continues to takes place as zinc loss electrons, that electrons will get absorbed by copper ions at cathode. And this is the information, this is the energy, the electrical energy 1.1 volts will be generated, which is called EMF of the cell. Moving on to the lead bromide molten electrolytic cell. That means here we have taken lead bromide. In this electrolytic cell, conversion of electrical energy to chemical energy takes place. So we will pass current into this solution. Then at anode, the positive terminal oxidation takes place, and the negative terminal cathode reduction takes place. Whereas the bromide ions are there, they will lose electrons at anode, undergo oxidation, and lead ions Pb2 plus will receive electrons, converts into lead. That means lead will get deposited at cathode in this electrolytic cell. So PBr2 gives rise to Pb plus Br2. That means bromine is generated and lead is prepared from this one. That means we can prepare metal and non-metals from this cells. That is electrolytic cells. So electron flow, we have shown this with red colored here arrow mark, you can observe. Flow from anode to cathode as usual, like that of in voltaic cell it takes place. But Br minus is there, that losing electrons at anode, and lead is gaining electrons, which is shown. This is the most important schematic picture, most important observation between the differences of this voltaic cell and electrolytic cell. Let us observe the chemical reactions, how they have given this type of phenomena called as non-spontaneous spontaneous process. Once you observe the half cell reactions, the standard electrode potential of zinc reaction is minus 0.76 volts noticed, while that of copper noticed as plus 3.4 volts noticed. And once the cell prepared, the E naught of this the standard electrode potential of this cell, entire cell, can be obtained by this equation. That means in this equation what we have taken is zinc lost electrons here taken, first equation. The second equation, copper gained electrons, both are added. So oxidation potential of this zinc is plus 0.76, and that of the reduction potential of copper we have added. Oxidation reduction both takes place in this reaction called as redox reaction. So in this redox reaction, E naught value we got as 1.10 volts. To get the E naught value, we have to add oxidation potential value and reduction potential value to find out the final, that means EMF of the cell. That means reduction potential value, if it is given as minus, when writing oxidation potential value of the same half cell, it will become plus. So that's why zinc has got here positive in the addition reaction. So total value 0.76 plus 0.34, we got 1.10 volts for this cell, that is voltaic cell. Coming to this is the region actually we are calling as E naught cell value. When we got it is positive, it is spontaneous. When you do the calculation after that E naught value got positive, means the reaction definitely takes place with a spontaneous manner, and the conversion of chemical energy to electrical energy will takes place in this process. But suppose if it is negative, means that phenomena according to thermodynamics we will call it as non-spontaneous phenomena. We will see whether it is spontaneous, non-spontaneous in the case of electrolytic cell taking lead bromide molten electrolytic solution. Here, in this lead we have the reduction potential value is minus 0.13 is there, and bromine we have reduction potential value is plus 1.07 is there. So when you take the oxidation reaction, so what is oxidation? Bromine value we have plus 1.07 is there, but when you are writing oxidation of this reaction, it will become negative. Lead as usual you can write it. Why? Because lead undergoes reduction, and at anode what is happening? The oxidation taking place. So we will write oxidation potential. So oxidation potential and reduction potential both, if we add, the cell reaction is taking place, and the cell reaction E naught value we are getting negative value. That negative value indicates that it is a non-spontaneous reaction takes place in the electrolytic cell. So compound broken down, that is called as lysis, energy is needed to break that bond, whatever the compound is there, the lead bromide into lead and bromine require energy. So require energy means definitely it is a non-spontaneous process. So energy needed to decompose the compound. Let us see one more important information we have, that is nothing but electrolysis. Electrolysis of molten salt. As we saw the electrolytic cell, lead bromide, molten lead bromide electrolytic cell means we have not added a single drop of water to this lead bromide. We have taken the liquid state of lead bromide, making liquid up to heating it into melting point. Inert electrodes of copper or graphite we have taken here. This electrode anode is positive, cathode is negative in the case of electrolytic cells shown. And selective discharge is most important. Here molten aqueous solution is there. We need relative electrode values of ions also required, and concentration of ion is also most important factor in this. Nature of electrode. So these are the most important factors which will affect the discharge of this factor affecting the discharge of these ions at electrodes. So anode we have oxidation takes place, and cathode reduction takes place. In a case of this oxidation, that means anode is positive anion. Okay, cathode which is cation, that way where it takes place reduction takes place. Okay, so discharge bromide ion, bromine gas. So bromide ion convert into bromine gas, and lead ion convert into lead. Okay, so you can observe what kind of discharge ions are there. You have cation Pb2 plus, anion Br minus, oxidized potential shown here. So in the electrochemical series, if you observe this reduction potential value and oxidation potential value, reduction potential value of lead, oxidation potential value of bromine, if we add both, we got minus 1.20 volts. Okay, so it indicates the non-spontaneous process, and the conversion of electrical energy to chemical energy here is non-spontaneous process. It needs energy to decompose. So we are saying energy is needed. That means E naught value is negative. Supply of plus 1.20 volts, more than that only can break down the lead bromide into lead and bromine. Okay, so this is that means we have to supply current to this solution to break down this. More than this we have to supply. Moving on to the another thing we have, I will show you. Now you see this electrolysis of aqueous salt of sulfuric acid. You see in the electrolytic cell, the factor affecting is relative E naught values of the ions. So here we have inert electrodes are there, anode, cathode. Left side anode is there, right side cathode is there. The sulfate ions, because of negative charge, they will move towards oppositely charged anode, and oxide ions are there, hydroxide ions will try to move towards this anode again, as they are also negative. While that of H plus ions in the solution moves towards cathode, and they will try to get deposited there. So as usual, oxidation takes place at anode and reduction takes place at cathode. In this discharge of ions, we have one cation is there and sulfate, two ions are there, discharge ions, sulfate ion and OH minus ions. In the sulfuric acid solution, we have this reduction potential of water is here given minus 0.83 in the list, while that of the oxidation potential of this OH minus ions here is plus 1.23, and sulfate is plus 2.01. So if you observe, E naught value is greater than the positive, easier to lose. So which is greater than the positive? See, hydroxide ions are there. These hydroxide ions, E naught value is given here. That is minus 1.23. As here it is, we have plus. Here oxidation potential is minus. For that of sulfate, it is minus 2.0. Coming to the reduction potential values, E naught values are greater means more positive easily gains electrons. So you understand, in this there is a competition is taking place between the ions to undergo discharge. For example, if you take H plus ions is minus 0.83, discharge H plus ion 2 becomes converted into hydrogen gas. Here discharged OH minus ions converts into oxygen gas. So in the first reaction, if you observe, we have hydrogen gas formation, E naught value is minus 0.83, and OH minus ion reaction, if you take minus 1.23. In this, E naught value more positive, easier to lose electrons. We are giving here information, observe carefully here and all. So we have the positive value is less negative is more positive. That is the meaning of it. So that's why once we add both the oxidation and reduction potentials in this reaction, the ratio of the gases obtained is 1:2. That is oxygen and hydrogen ratio as water. Non-spontaneous process and conversion of electrical energy to chemical energy needs some energy here to decompose this compound, that sulfuric acid. Here plus 2.06 what we got, more than that if you give, then that will break down the sulfuric acid into oxygen and hydrogen. So we will get hydrogen gas, we'll get hydrogen gas at cathode, and we will get oxygen gas at anode. So anode product is oxygen gas, cathode product is hydrogen gas. Do remember, this is the most important point to be noticed in sulfuric acid's electrolysis. Next one, we observe the electrolysis of concentrated salt. We have observed the aqueous solution, that is dilute sulfuric acid. E0 values are different there. We observe relative nature of the E0 values is also factor noticed. Here we will see the concentration of the solution, how it impacts the discharge of the ions, sodium ions, chloride ions. We have cations Na plus and H plus ions in this reaction. We can see in the diagram. And anions, chloride ion and OH minus ions also we can see in this one. Inert electrode, here carbon and graphite, we can take anything. And here chloride, OH minus ions moving towards anode, and Na plus and H plus ions moving towards cathode. Whereas sodium's reduction potential value is minus 2.71. So sodium value is minus 2. Water is minus 0.83. When we take this in this, more positive easily gains the electrons, which is more positive easily gains electrons. That means between Na plus and H plus, the discharge potential of H plus ion is more. That is why hydrogen gas will get definitely liberated at cathode in this reaction. When you take this sodium chloride. And coming to the point of chloride ions, as chloride here, chloride, OH minus and water, if you compare all these things in this, chloride is minus 1.36, while that of this OH minus ions is nothing but minus 1.23. Here, E0 value is more positive, easier to lose electrons. So, which is more positive? That will lose electrons. So we have the oxidation potential of this chlorine is greater than the oxidation potential of this OH minus ions. So here again observe, chlorine is plus 1.36. Okay, so we have taken the oxidation potential of chlorine and we have taken the reduction potential value of H plus, and we added, after the addition we got E0 value of this one is minus 2.19. Here one thing we have to remember, that this E0 values are most important factors. When you take dilute sodium chloride, OH minus ion discharge due to E0 value. Why? Because OH minus ion value is minus 1.23 is greater. When you take concentrated NaCl, Cl minus gets discharged due to over potential factor. That is called as over potential factor. Because of this one only it will get deposited. Here only confusion that can be here observed. How can you overcome the confusion is, discharged H plus and OH minus ions need additional voltage due to high activation energy. Okay, for hydrogen oxygen production. So to produce hydrogen and oxygen, there will be more potential is required. If Cl minus is high, negative, then it is preferred in the reaction. Because of that one only we have taken Cl minus. So that means in concentrated cases, chloride will get discharged. In In the diluted NaCl cases, OH minus ion will get discharged. Okay, this is a key point in the discussion of electrolysis of sodium chloride and its compounds. When you observe the copper chloride salt also the same situation, electrolytic solution. So in the case of copper chloride, concentrated salt of copper chloride electrolysis, also we have faced the same thing, that is copper gets deposited at cathode because of E naught value is more positive. It is very clear, but only in the case of anode substances, anode products, there will be a selection of chloride ion when it is concentrated solution due to over potential factor, because H plus and OH minus ions need additional voltage due to high activation energy for hydrogen oxygen production. So when the activation energy is high, then it needed this chloride ions in the chemical reaction. That means chlorine gas liberates instead of the liberation of oxygen gas. So chlorine gas is the product at anode, and copper is the product at cathode when you take copper chloride concentrated solution. So you need supply here minus 0.89 means more than that or equally that one. If you observe this E naught value externally, if you apply, then only we can break down this copper chloride into copper and oxygen. Copper and oxygen. Copper and chlorine. Copper and chlorine. See, another factor here we have this nature of electrode. When you see the electrode, copper chloride electrode, here the electrode here we are taking the nature of the electrode is copper electrodes we are taking. We are not taking the inert electrodes. In the inert electrodes, the product is different. In case of copper electrodes only, if you take an aqueous solution of copper chloride, then OH gets discharged at carbon electrode, and at copper electrode, copper get easily discharged. Why? Because E naught value is the criteria in this one. In the case of copper electrode, we have nature of electrode is most important. Copper gets dissolved in this reaction. So at cathode, reduction takes place. At anode, oxidation takes place. Both are common in this one. So discharged copper ion to copper metals at anode, at cathode will takes place. You can observe here copper ions from anode moving towards cathode, and there they will get deposited because cathode is negative. So copper electrode, we have loss of electrons here shown in a case of this anode. So when the copper electrode taken as anode, from the copper electrode, copper ions will go to cathode. So at anode, copper electrode oxidizes, dissolves, concentrated copper ions unchanged. So this is cathode. Mass of copper at anode is decreasing and mass of copper at cathode is increasing when you take both are copper electrodes. Okay. If you observe the aqueous electrolytic cell, silver nitrate solution, in this also we have copper electrodes. Here anode, cathode, shown the picture. When you take the carbon electrode, silver electrode, the different products as per the E naught values you can observe. Silver get discharged at cathode, and silver gets oxidized at anode if you take both are silver in the electrolytic cells. So silver electrode oxidizes, dissolves at anode, and concentrated silver ions unchanged is at cathode. Mass of silver anode decreased, mass of silver at cathode is increased. This is, if you see the reduction potential values, you can understand. So in brief, how can we ascertain this electrolytic cell and the products? See, simply we can remember this word that is called as panic. Panic is, but positive is anode, negative is cathode, to remember the electrolytic cells. We have different factors are there, which are relative electron, electrode potential values of ions, concentration of ions, whether concentrated or diluted, nature of the electrode. These are most important factors. In this, ease of cation discharged, ease of anion discharged, the picture we have shown in this, that means reactive metals and non-reactive metals. See, potassium is there, cannot be easily discharged, but silver easily get discharged. If you take copper, easily get discharged. While that of anions, if you take, which is gets easily discharged, OH minus, I minus, Br minus, like that. Nitrate is nitrate and sulfate. They are nothing but oxides. That means they are anions, and they different. They face difficult to discharge. Why? Because oxidation number of nitrogen is positive 5, very high value in the nitrate, and difficult to lose electrons to get higher level. So which is easy means bromide, chloride, iodide, OH minus ions, easily they will get discharged in this process. So we have some important data information is provided here, that is electrolyte, what kind of electrolyte we have shown on the first column. Second column we have shown electrodes, what kind of electrode taken. The third column we have shown the ions produces in the reaction. At cathode, what kind of half cell reaction takes place? At anode, what is the half cell reaction, oxidation? In this, all list out here: lead bromide, calcium chloride, sodium chloride. If you take sodium chloride and carbon electrodes, cathode product is hydrogen, anode product is oxygen. Sodium chloride concentrated with carbon electrodes. If you take, then chlorine gas is the anode product, hydrogen is cathode product, as you said. Cathode product is not difficult to understand here. Sodium iodide, if you take in the carbon electrodes, then ions are, this is the ions, and hydrogen gas at cathode and iodine at anode will be separated. While that of copper electrodes, as we saw, that copper is easily get discharged. So copper easily get discharged when we have copper electrode here. When we have carbon electrodes, hydrogen is the product only, and oxygen is the product when we have carbon electrodes. When the copper chloride is aqueous, okay. When the copper chloride is concentrated, then we have chloride is the anode product. Copper chloride is there with copper electrodes. Then both the electrodes we have the product is nothing but uh, at cathode we have copper and at anode we have copper ions. And coming to the next one, copper bromide is there. So copper bromide, we have hydrogen is the anode product, cathode product, and bromine is the anode product. When we have carbon electrodes, potassium iodide is there, and copper electrodes. If you take hydrogen at cathode and iodine at anode. Silver nitrate, if you take with carbon electrodes, silver at cathode and oxygen at anode. Coming to silver nitrate electrolyte with silver electrodes, silver at cathode and silver get deposited in anode. Copper sulfate with carbon electrodes, graphite electrodes, hydrogen at cathode, oxygen at anode will be the product. Sulfuric acid, we have hydrogen at cathode and oxygen at anode. Hydrochloric acid with carbon electrodes, hydrogen at cathode, oxygen at anode, hydrochloric acid with concentrated hydrochloric acid with carbon rods, hydrogen at cathode, and chlorine is at anode. These are the products. Hope you observed. This is the most important discussion, a tabular form information for competitive examinations. Thank you.